Canto I of The Rape of the Lock by Alexander Pope. Recording is in the public domain. What dire offence from amorous causes springs? What mighty contests rise from trivial things? I sing. This verse to Caryll, muse, is due. This even Belinda may vouchsafe to view. Slight is the subject, but not so the praise, if she inspire, and he approve my lays. Say what strange motive, goddess, could compel a well-bred lord to assault a gentle belle? Oh, say what stranger cause, yet unexplored, could make a gentle belle reject a lord? In tasks so bold can little men engage, and in soft bosoms dwell such mighty rage. Saul through white curtains shot a timorous ray, and oped those eyes that must eclipse the day. Now lapdogs give themselves the rousing shake, and sleepless lovers just at 12 awake. Thrice rung the bell, the slipper knocked the ground, and the pressed watch returned a silver sound. Belinda still her downy pillow pressed, her guardian sylph prolonged the balmy rest. 'Twas he had summoned to her silent bed the morning dream that hovered o'er her head, a youth more glittering than a birthnight bow, that even in slumber caused her cheek to glow, seemed to her ear his winning lips to lay, and thus in whispers said, or seemed to say: Fairest of mortals, thou distinguished care Of thousand bright inhabitants of air, if e'er one vision touch thy infant thought Of all the nurse and all the priest have taught, Of airy elves by moonlight shadows seen, The silver token and the circled green, or virgins visited by angel powers, With golden crowns and wreaths of heavenly flowers, hear and believe, thy own importance know, Nor bound thy narrow views to things below. Some secret truths from learned pride concealed, To maids alone and children are revealed. What though no credit doubting wits may give, The fair and innocent shall still believe. Know then, unnumbered spirits round thee fly, The light militia of the lower sky. These, though unseen, are ever on the wing, Hang o'er the box and hover round the ring. Think what an equipage thou hast in air, And view with scorn 2 pages and a chair. As now your own our beings were of old, And once enclosed in woman's beauteous mould. Thence by a soft transition we repair From earthly vehicles to these of air. Think not, when woman's transient breath is fled, That all her vanities at once are dead. Succeeding vanities she still regards, And though she plays no more, or looks the cards, Her joy in gilded chariots, when alive, And love of ombre after death survive. For when the fair in all their pride expire, To their first elements their souls retire. The sprites of fiery termagants and flame Mount up and take a salamander's name. Soft yielding minds to water glide away, And sip with nymphs their elemental tea. The graver prude sinks downward to a gnome, In search of mischief still on earth to roam. The light coquettes in sylphs aloft repair, And sport and flutter in the fields of air. No further yet, whoever fair and chaste Rejects mankind is by some sylph embraced. For spirits freed from mortal laws, with ease Assume what sexes and what shapes they please. What guards the purity of melting maids In courtly balls and midnight masquerades, Safe from the treacherous friend, the darling spark, the glance by day, the whisper in the dark. When kind occasion prompts their warm desires, when music softens, and when dancing fires, 'tis but their sylph the wise celestials know, though honor is the word with men below. Some nymphs there are, too conscious of their face, for life predestined to the gnome's embrace. These swell their prospects, and exalt their pride, when offers are disdained and love denied. Then gay ideas crowd the vacant brain, while peers and dukes in all their sweeping train, and garters, stars, and cornets appear, and in soft sounds your grace salutes their ear. 'Tis these that early taint the female soul, instruct the eyes of young coquettes to roll, teach infant cheeks a bidden blush to know, and little hearts to flutter at a beau. Oft when the world imagine women stray, the sylphs through mystic mazes guide their way, through all the giddy circle they pursue, and old impertinence expel by new. What tender maid but must a victim fall to one man's treat but for another's ball? When Florio speaks, what virgin could withstand, if gentle Damon did not squeeze her hand? With varying vanities from every part, they shift the moving toy shop of their heart, where wigs, with sword knots strive, beaux banish beaux, and coaches drive. This erring mortals levity may call, O blind to truth, the sylphs contrive it all. Of these am I, who thy protection claim, a watchful sprite, and Ariel is my name. Late as I range the crystal wilds of air, in the clear mirror of thy ruling star, I saw, alas, some dread event impend, ere to the main this morning sun descend. But heaven reveals not what, or how, or where. Warned by the sylph, O pious maid, beware! This to disclose is all thy guardian can. Beware of all, but most beware of man. He said, when Shock, who thought she slept too long, leaped up and waked his mistress with his tongue. 'Twas then, Belinda, if report say true, thy eyes first opened on a billet doux. Wounds, charms, and ardours were not sooner read, but all the vision vanished from thy head. And now, unveiled, the toilet stands displayed, each silver vase in mystic order laid. First robed in white, the nymph intent adores, with head uncovered the cosmetic powers. A heavenly image in the glass appears, to that she bends, to that her eyes she rears. The inferior priestess at her altar's side, trembling begins the sacred rites of pride. Unnumbered treasures ope at once, and here the various offerings of the world appear. From each she nicely culls with curious toil, and decks the goddess with the glittering spoil. This casket India's glowing gems unlocks, and all Arabia breathes from yonder box. The tortoise here and elephant unite, transformed to combs the speckled and the white. Here files of pins extend their shining rows, puffs powders, patches Bibles, billets doux. Now awful beauty puts on all its arms. The fair each moment rises in her charms, repairs her smiles, awakens every grace, and calls forth all the wonders of her face. Sees by degrees a purer blush arise, and keener lightnings quicken in her eyes. The busy sylphs surround their darling care, these set the head, and those divide the hair. Some fold the sleeve, whilst others plait the gown, And Betty's praised for labours not her own. Canto I. Recording by Rhonda Fetterman.